All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Perumal and I'm happy to see you once again. Um, Actually, we've been solving a Sherlock called WhyFind. In this Sherlock, we are actually trying to investigate users' activities to answer some of the questions. It is not a malware investigation. It was simply investigating end users' activity. We earlier we actually investigated some registry hives and answered some questions, and we parsed some registry database files uh, to unravel his browser activities, and we were able to answer some of the questions. And now it's time to dig further. Let's go and assess his the some of the event logs and some WLAN configs to answer some of the questions. All right, let's do this. Now let's start with WLAN config. I read this question. Investigators may want to follow up on Wi-Fi credentials used at the cafe the suspect visited. Which file stores the authentication details, including encrypted password of the first network? All right. Um, the first cafe the suspect visited, and which file stores the authentication details. And the file that we need to look at is uh, not Wi-Fi. I go to the network, C drive. It is on program data, I guess. Microsoft, WLAN SVC, profiles, interfaces, and this is the wireless interface ID and the list of SSIDs that the user got connected to. And when I open this, I can see the happy trace guest, the second Wi-Fi. And if I open the other files, I could see this one, Arboretum Cafe, coffee, and I can see the credential, the encrypted credential that's stored here. And the authentication method is WPA2.WPA2 PSK means pre-shared key. So they're asking the file name, I guess. Which file stores the authentication detail for the first network? So this is the first network, and this is the file name. So here is the file name. Let me copy this. And this must be the answer. What authentication method was used to connect the first cafe? And it is there in the file as well. It's there in the file itself. WPA to PSK. So this is the authentication method used. So let me paste this. Yeah, this must be the answer. All right. Now we simply need to answer 3 more questions. To answer these questions, we need to investigate the event logs. Okay. So let's get into that. First, before we start looking into the event logs, we need to read and understand these questions. When investigating the changes to the network profiles on a Windows system, which event logs would you examine to find entries related to these profile specific events using event IDs such as 10,000 or 10,001? We don't know which event log we need to examine. Maybe we can get the help from Google. And using the logs from the previous answer, when did they connect and leave? When did they disconnect and leave the first cafe? Using the same log, when did the user arrive at the second cafe? All right. So we need to answer a couple of other questions, but first of all, we need to find which is the log file we need to access. So let's go here to this path, Microsoft Windows System 32 Win event logs, and you can see bunch of event logs. The event logs from the operating system, and out of these logs, which log we need to investigate. So let's see. We will just try to Google. Okay. Let's go and copy this. Which event logs would you examine to find the entries related to? Okay. Event logs that store events of 10,000 and 10,001. How about this? I guess this one. Yeah. network profile logs, network profile operational log. What's the log name? Name of the event log that stores the events of 10,000 and 10,001. Come on. Maybe when I copy and paste the whole questions, do I get the answer? Yes. To investigate network profile changes using event ID 10,000 and 10,001. So the event ID 10,000 is actually the profile setting change. 10,001 is source of change. You need to examine Microsoft Windows network profile operational log. Do we have the log? Windows network profile operational log. Yeah, here it is. So this is the log we need. We have this log. Come on. What's the shortcut key to F1? Not F1. Come on. Shortcut to rename a file. F2. F2. Yeah. I'm copying the whole name and put it in the answer. So this is the name of the log. Fine. Now I need to parse this log to find the answer. When did they disconnect and leave the cafe? Okay. So let's do that. I think my settings are correct. Okay. Fine. Let me go to this particular place, and here I think I need to go to my Linux machine this time, and because in Linux machine only I have installed the tool that I need to investigate the event logs. So let me tell you what it is. Before that, I'll open the log folder. All right, now I got the log folders, and now the tool I'm going to use is called Chainsaw. Chainsaw is the tool. Command not found. What? I think it's there in the different path, but okay, I'll get that. But before that, let me give you an intro for the tool Chainsaw. Chainsaw Forensic. So here is the page. Rapidly search and hunt through Windows forensic artifacts. Hunt for the Sigma detection rules, and you can see it has a vast use cases. Windows event log analysis is one of them, and you can see shim cache analysis, how to download and run, install and build, EDR warnings. Yeah. So here is a usage command. Chainsaw hunt. I guess what we need is chainsaw analysis, I guess, or chainsaw dump. Chainsaw dump is what we need, because we can dump the details in the JSON format simply. But let's see that how to use them. Yeah, it should be something like this. So this is the command. So look at this. Even it is helping us to dump the particular Hive. We can, when we have the registry Hive, instead using the Eric Zimmerman tool, you can use this tool to dump the registry Hive into a JSON file. So once you got the JSON file, you can simply use the JQ to pass the JSON file and to see the details. All right. Maybe I'll start doing this. Come on. Can I see that? Yeah. Chainsaw. Yes. Chainsaw dump, I guess. Microsoft Windows network profile event logs. Yes, it is. And hyphen hyphen JSON. And here's the outcome. I'll store these details uh, in a folder. YouTube, come on, YouTube, WhyFind, network profile logs, network profile dot JSON. Specified event log path is invalid, or at least I can remove the name. Can I see that? Can I see the outcome here? No, it didn't store. How to store them in the files? If I use full name, Perumal J YouTube WhyFind. Okay, I'll do one thing. I will simply remove this path. Just do it like this. Now plus less how about saving it on the current path? Network ops.json. Will it save? Specified path is invalid. Come on. How about using the same path? Is it because of the special characters, the tilde? Specified path is invalid. You can store it in JSON, JSON L, I don't know. Path to the output results. How about using same stuff? Oh gosh, I made a blunder. JSON is fine. That's the format I'm defining. I should put out. Yes, I guess now it will work. Okay, it's a directory. Of course, it's a directory. Network ops, maybe ops. How about that? And JSON. Fine, done. Now I have dumped it. Now if I see, I could read this. Let me go and JQ this. Yes, awesome. Now I can able to parse this. Come on, less. Yes. Now I'll tell you how to parse this JSON file using the JQ. Okay. First of all, if you take an event log file, you should identify what are all the event IDs present within that event logs. So here is the event ID. How to get to the event ID? So the event log starts with the square bracket, then it actually checks the event followed by event ID. So that is how we need to parse. If I go after the dot, if I apply two square brackets, what it does, let me use less to show this. It removes the square bracket because it got into the square bracket. Now it is reading the results. Now I need to get into this event value. So the event value is actually holding all these details, system, event ID, these details, right? So let me get into dot event. If I press less, I could see it has system, then event ID. The system is holding the provider attributes, event ID, version, all these things. So now system dot event ID. That's what I need. Dot system dot event ID. Now I could see the list of event IDs available in this uh, event log. Sort -u to sort these event logs with with the unique event IDs. So let's see what all these event IDs. First of all, let's read through it. Um, event ID 10,001 Windows network operational loss. What it is? Indicates the change in the source or reason of the network connection state. Event ID 2 typically signals a warning that WLAN extensibility module has stopped. Okay. What about 20,002? Network profile issue. 4,001. WLAN auto config system SCOM signaling connection issues. Four thousand two, 4,003, 4,004. I use ChatGPT now. Common scenarios when it appears. You will often see event ID 4002 connecting to new Wi-Fi or Ethernet network, switching between network. 4001, how about that? Normal informational event. Windows editor network change and starting a network profile processing. Windows 2. Network detected and profile accessing start. Profile processing started. Network profile applied. 403 and 403 and 404. So these are remaining network event IDs. Successfully identified the network. Network detected, processing started, network profile determination in progress, network identified, profile applied. Okay. Now I need to refer my notes because I guess I missed something here. I'm missing something here. Since we already investigated this, I knew what I'm up against. Now let's see. So Profile operational. I guess I should be looking at other event IDs as well. Yeah, 10001, and let's see the other IDs. Sorry, 1 10,000 and 10,001. Let's see what are they. Detected a network change. Connecting to a Wi-Fi or Ethernet. Let's see what are they. Network change detected. Network location determined. I think we need to investigate these two IDs. Connecting to a Wi-Fi, 10,000. I think 10,001 is the disconnection. Yeah. Okay, let's try to filter out. Now we got this, and let's start the events with 10,000, event ID 10,000. So in order to do that, I actually have this system events. Now I'm gonna go and start filtering event ID. Event ID equal to 10,000. How about that? Some error. The connection of Windows VM is dead. How to use this command? I think dot event ID. Yes. Now we got the event, right? And out of this event, I need to find the name of the event. Let's see. Come on. All right. I'll just remove this system. Now, if I check dot system, dot system. Yeah. I guess, can I see any Wi-Fi names here? Event select dot system dot event ID. Dot system dot event ID. How about this? Yeah, here is the event data name. So this is what I wanted. So this is what stores the name of Wi-Fi, right? So I need to read this. Now what can I do? I'll probably go and check this out. Select or not selecting it. I'll do one thing. I will dot event data dot name. Yeah. How about doing this? And look at this. The list of networks. I think 10,000 10,000 event ID is all about the connectivity, and you can see the Arboretum coffee. So this is the network that I need to know, because by using this logs, I'm going to find when the Wi-Fi was connected. I think that's the answer that I need to provide. When did they disconnect and leave the first cafe, and when did the user arrive at the second cafe? So this one is actually denoting the connectivity logs, right? So Happy Trails guest is the second Wi-Fi. So this one is the connection log. So let me filter out with this. Maybe I will just put it inside the select string, and now you can see the timing. Happy Trails guest, they actually connected them on 5:26 to 62. I think that's the time that they connected this Happy Trails guest Wi-Fi. I think they connected it twice, so that's why it shows the logs 2 times. So this is the log. So this is the log I need. Yeah, I think this must be the answer. So I used this particular query to grab that detail. Come on. Oh, sorry. Control B. All right. Now, what should be the answer? The answer is this one, 19,526. And the previous question is logs from the previous answer. So I'm using the same log. When did they disconnect and leave the cafe? So I need to do one more thing. I can simply keep this, just change the event ID to 10,001. Now it's going to give me the list of Wi-Fi that got disconnected. And Arboretum coffee is the Wi-Fi ID. So let's see this. Event name is Arboretum coffee 10,001. Some error. It triggers an error. Don't know why. Come on, let's see this. Yes, I got it. Okay, let's look at this. They actually disconnected Arboretum Cafe around 29th of May, 9:49. I also could see the names with Arboretum Coffee too, right? So let me check those timelines as well, because that is also denotes the same coffee. This timing is okay. There are two timings here. So this is one time. I note it down, and the next time is this one. Yes. And now I think the timing is this particular thing, 6:55:45. I think this is the timing. This is when they disconnected and they left the cafe. And on 30th, around 7 o'clock, 7:05 evening, they actually connected in the second cafe. They exited around 6:55 in the first cafe, and they resumed the connection in the second cafe around 7:05. I think that is what the answer. Let me highlight this, and I go and check this out. That the command that I used. grab this data. So it will be useful for me in the future. All right. I guess this is fine. Now, all we need to do is let's go and answer some of the questions. Okay, I need to log in. So I'll switch the screen for a while. Yeah. I'm logging in the platform, so that's why I'm taking time. Cool. All right. Now let's go to Sherlock's page. Inside Sherlock's, the Sherlock name is WhyFind. I already answered some of the questions, but anyway, I'll go and answer it again. WhyFind invisible chains, and that's the answer to the first question, which is correct. What is the first Wi-Fi SSID they connected on May 30th? The Arboretum Cafe, because you can see the strings, the number of characters, that's what it denotes. It is not Arboretum Coffee 2. That's correct. And when did the system obtain a lease for the network? May 30th, 6/22/48 is the right answer. May 30th, 6/22/48 is the right answer. All right. Then, what is the IP address that the device received when connecting to the cafe? 172.16.100.16, and that's the correct answer. And what is the MAC address of the access point? Starts with E4D124, E4D12496CFID1. That is correct. And it looks like they started to some sort of manifesto. The file name is change.not.txt, and that's the file name indeed. And what is the last sentence of the manifesto? Freedom is a perspective away, and that's the last sentence, and it ends with dot, and that's the right answer. And I actually left the dot here. Okay. They started their research by watching the YouTube video. And what's the name of the speech? The ballot or the bullet? Yes, the ballot or the bullet. And that's the right answer. They continued their research to look up book title. The book title is The Iron Heel. That is also correct. What was the last thing they downloaded before leaving the cafe? Brave browser setup.exe, and that's the answer. When investigating network changes, you should investigate the network profile and operational log. So let's answer this question. Instead, this one, I use /. Is it correct? No EVTX. Yes, that's correct. So this is the answer. And the timing is May 30th, 6:55:45. And that's the timing, I guess. Let's see. So this is when the user left the cafe. Yes, this is when the user left the cafe. And moving on, if I see this one, this is when the user connected in the second cafe. And 7.5. Is this the right answer? Yes, it is. What is the SSID of the second Wi-Fi they connected? And it is Happy Trails Guest. Right answer. What's the IP address did they receive on connecting the second Wi-Fi? 192.168.100.10.100. Right. And the timing, when did they obtain the system lease? May 30th, 7/6/02. Yeah. And the SSID of the access point, the MAC address of the access point, 4CBA70. 4CBA70 E1HC30. That is also correct. And what was the first thing the user downloaded at the second cafe? This VirtualBox executable, the hypervisor. Yeah. And that's also the right answer. And the online forum is Reddit, right? And what was their first name on the site? Financially Free 3636. And that's the name here. And the name of the VM is Last Hope. And let's add it. And that's the right answer. And what's the street was the first cafe on? It was W Prospect Road. And of course, the right answer. And the file name is this one. This is what's storing the Wi-Fi profile of the first cafe. And what authentication method was used to connect to the first cafe's Wi-Fi? WPA to PSK. It's the authentication scheme. And with this, we are successfully accomplished the Sherlock WhyFind. All right, I think this is good for the recording. Hopefully, we have finished the Wi-Fi investigation, a kind of Wi-Fi investigation, and also we did some browser and registry hive artifact investigation. I really learned a lot from this. Hope you too. If you really did consider doing this YouTube algorithms, I am catching you up in another exciting stream. It could be a study stream, a red team stream, dev stream, or whatever, or another Sherlock stream, whatever it could be. But I'll catch you in next stream very soon. Until then, I'm signing off. Cheers, and I love you all. Thank you so much.